Well, I bought this as working from eBay, but it lasted about 30 minutes. So now we're going to repair it, hopefully, the long way around. You may remember I bought this machine from eBay, one of my eBay purchases, about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago now. This was purchased as working, and it did work for about half an hour. Then it went into the standard Panasonic self-check mode. Now it always does this when it's booting up, but it's not a good idea for it to do it after it's been on for half an hour, and it never really came. Well, I think I got it back working once, and it's always down. I've got to be careful about this, because if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I don't know what's causing this. Normally it's a hard drive. Well, I've put a new hard drive in it. It takes one of these, and I put that one in. I bought it from eBay for 12 quid, and it still didn't solve the situation. It's still stuck in self-check. But next to it, while it continues to do its self-check, you will see I have two machines, identical. For those people that don't know, these are my favourite. There's just something about these that I like. They're old, they're a bit clunky, but I find them stylish, and I just like the way that they're set out. So, but these two are working. These two have got absolutely no problems whatsoever. There is a software issue I'm trying to resolve, but I don't think it's now software with these. I think it's something to do with the disk that I haven't done, but that's a different issue. But these actually work. This top one, I picked up £10 from eBay, free postage. £10 and free postage. It actually works. It's fine. But these two both have dim displays. Now I've got one here that's got quite a very bright display, but doesn't work. The display unit itself is soldered to the main board. So to just take, oh no, this is, here we go, look. So this is the message you get all the time. Press enter. So I will, sorry, this is bad camera work. So let me do this again. Right. So that's the message I keep getting on this. Maybe if I can go to live, we do a split of both. No. So yes, that's the message I keep getting with this one. So what I will do, I will press OK, and then we'll see it's just going to reboot again and go back into self-check, as you can see. But sometimes it boots up, sometimes. So this is where I'm thinking at the moment. I've got a new drive, I've replaced it, put it in, it makes no difference. It keeps doing the same, constantly in self-check mode, and also constantly recycling and coming up with those error messages. That led me to believe that it's possibly not a problem with the hard drive. So I then swapped the power supply out, because the power supply obviously powers the hard drive, and I wanted to check that. And that didn't change a thing. So I thought I'd go looking on eBay for a cheap machine that works, and I can start doing some part swapping. Now, I don't like doing part swapping for diagnosis. I don't mind if I find out what the fault is and then changing the part over, but I am a bit stuck here because I've replaced both the power supply and the hard drive in this, and it doesn't work. And as we can see with this one does have a good display on it. even though I've suddenly remembered it may have a good display, but it's a bit churned up. But if I manage to get this machine working, which is what I'm going to do by taking out some parts from here, what you have to remember about these machines is they're not built like modern day machines. These were built in the days, in fact, they were built alongside plasma televisions, the amount of parts that are inside these. So you can't just lift the lid off and take a part out. To get to the part that I really want, I have to remove about 5 or 6 other parts first to get to it. They're built like old-fashioned plasma televisions. They are built well. I think the problem with this one, while it's stuck in self-check mode, I think the digital board is faulty. It's either the digital board that's faulty, oh, well, it could be so many things, but my original diagnosis would be the digital board. And here we go again with that message. Sorry, I keep moving the camera and I hate it. Here we go again with that message. Well, actually, it's a different message. It's saying, please change the disk. Now, I'm presuming the disk to be the hard drive, and I have replaced it, which led me to believe that I really should go and replace the digital board which connects the hard drive together. But I've just had a thought today, and my thought is, what if this hard drive that I replaced it with is also faulty? Why don't I now, knowing damn well that I've got a good hard drive in here, why don't I take the hard drive out of here and put it in here, just to see, and see if that boots up. Because this one, and I'll show you what this one does, this one boots up really quickly. This works. The only problem with this, it's got a dim display. And so my plan would be, once I get this up and running, knowing what the part fault is, and even though it's not in self-check mode, it is still faulty. We've still got that message on the screen. But once I've got this up and running, with the bright display, because this is quite a bright display. In fact, this is a very bright display compared to most of this age. I will then take all the components out of here and put it in this machine here. This is a working machine, but it's got a very dim display, and I'm going to show that to you now. Wow, that's how dim the display is. I know you can see it now in the dark, but even with one set of lights on, it disappears. With 2 sets of lights on, yeah. But look how quickly it's booted up. It says no disk, but that's booted up really quickly. And I would imagine if I switch it to hard drive, let's have a look, what does it say? Again, I think this is where I have to be careful, because if you remember the last time we did this, I bought one from eBay. It had got a hard drive full of, I'll call it porn, but it was very soft porn. It was, it wasn't the carry-ons, it was the confessions, and there were a few dodgy channels that somebody had recorded. But I'm going to press the navigate button, which will now tell us what exactly is on this other machine. Well, that is very strange. Let me come out of that, see if I can go into the main menu. There is something up with the output of this. Oh, it's just a dodgy SCART. Thank God for that. I hadn't got the SCART in. So let's go back to disk information. Sorry, let's go back to Direct Navigator and we'll see what's on, just in case there's any programs that we really want to keep. Any educational stuff, you understand. But it seems like a lot of the stuff.
Had appeared to be attempting to swim in the water. MPs have warned failings within the border force could be leaving the door open for criminals to enter Britain.
See, some of these things have got regional news programs on from a decade ago, and part of me says I shouldn't erase them, but I'm probably going to have to do that. But anyway, this machine powers up. It is fine. It is working 90%. What do I mean by 90%? Well, of course, it does have a dim display. Does that really matter? No, it doesn't. Does it bother me? No, because most of the things you need are put on screen anyway, as you can see there. There's all the information that you could possibly need. So no, I don't have to do this, but it's bugging me, as it would most people in my profession, that I can't get the other one to boot up, and I want to know why. And the other one has got a better display. So that's what I'm going to do. And the first thing we're going to do is swap out the hard drive, which wasn't something I was going to do originally. I was going to swap out the digital drive, but for some particular reason today, I've suddenly thought that I should be swapping out the hard drive on it. So that's what we'll do. Because that could be a faulty hard drive, as well as the other one that's in the machine. So let's swap them over. The hard drive is there. But I think the fault is that blue board here. See this blue digital board, which is right at the bottom of the three. And to get to it, I need to take that drive out. That drive could also be faulty. I mean, not on this machine, on the faulty machine. Please keep up, because I don't. The only thing I'm not doing is grounding this side of it. I hopefully get away with it just for now. So I'm going to plug this back in. And hope, for the love of God, that this is now going to come on. But I still suspect that that is the problem. But I'm hoping I'm wrong, because that's a heck of a lot of trouble to go to. But that's what I bought the machine for. Just wait a second, it'll automatically go into self-check mode, and it does. It will recognise that the hard drive has been changed, so the first thing I expect to see, if the hard drive is the fault, is that to come up with a message saying please format the disk. Now the other one would have booted up by now. It didn't take long, and this is doing nothing. But when you do replace a hard drive on these, it can take ages to check things out, so I'm just going to have to leave this thing running for a good few minutes. I've got to let it see if it comes up with the same errors. Well, this is interesting. It's been almost 5 minutes now and it's just stuck in self-check, and we know that this is a good hard drive. But it's not even coming up with an error message. How long is it going to take? I can hear the hard drive spinning now. So that was my fault. I didn't plug that in. This still may not resolve it. I don't think it is a hard drive, even though Panasonic say it's got to be a hard drive. Well, I'm only saying it's not a hard drive because I've tried a replacement hard drive in it. Have I just been unlucky where I've got two faulty hard drives? Right, so it switched itself off and then back on again. So no error message. I would have expected to say please format the hard drive if it had been successful. But we'll see what happens. I will obviously edit this down as tightly as possible so you'll be able to tell on the clock how long has progressed. I think we've been doing this for about 15 minutes now. I would have expected to see an error message by now, but I've just got to be patient. Oh. Okay. That could still be correct. But if the next error message is please change the disk, we'll know that it's incorrect. Now some people may be thinking, change the disk. Does that not mean the DVD RAM assembly unit? And I've got that in the back of my mind. It says it isn't, but the message should come up, please change the HDD. But the message that keeps coming up is please change the disk. Does it mean that? Well, we've got a spare one, we'll see. There's no definitive answer with these machines because not that many people tried to repair them. When they went faulty, they just threw them. There's one gentleman on YouTube, I think he's in Canada, who has repaired one of these by swapping the hard drives over. But I've tried that, it doesn't work, and I don't think it's going to work this time with the third hard drive. But until I see what the next error message is, I won't know. And there it is. Getting the same message on a good drive. So it's not the drive. I'm now going to change out the DVD RAM assembly. I know I should go with my gut feeling and change the digital board, because that's full of old electrolytic caps. But this is the easiest at the moment to take out, so I'm going to take... Oh, hang on, I'll do that again so you can see. This is the easiest to take out. So let's take out this one, possible bad one, and see if that changes any of the messages. It's just the way it says, please change the disk. And it does have to read this. That self-check is reading both this and that. But I still believe it's the digital board. But hey, let's go through everything. Do I have to take the front off to do this? Do I? Do I? Right, possible bad drive. Possible, don't know. Here's the drive from the good machine. put the front back on. Right. I will put the rest of the grounding screws in just in case. Well, I'll put 2 in. So let's plug this back in. Ask yourself the question, do you think when it said please change the disk, it meant the hard drive or the DVD RAM assembly? Let's call it the DVD drive, shall we? Anyway, we're on again. Let's see. So we've got new hard drive, well, a working hard drive and a working DVD RAM assembly in. Is that going to get this machine to boot up at last? I've never known these have a DVD RAM assembly, but I'm sure they do. But I still favour bad caps on the digital board. Just to let you know, because I would have edited this down as tightly as I possibly can, but we're just coming up to 50 minutes doing this since I first started. On a modern day machine, you wouldn't get these issues. It's just replace one drive or the other. All this self-check testing nonsense is just not happening. Why Panasonic do it today, I don't know. It just takes the time of a boot for a drive and then your machine's up and running, but never with Panasonics. But again, this is taking too long. I'm sure we're going to get an error message. And we have. Please press enter. Well, it does say that that is normal when you're replacing the disk. Then it boots up again and tries to format it. So here we go. I just don't believe I don't believe this is the case. If you remember the working machine, that booted up within just a few minutes. Now it's different when you swap parts because it recognizes that something is not right. A hard drive's been changed, a RAM assembly's been changed, and the self-check does take a heck of a lot longer then. So it's either main board or the digital board. I did say it was the digital board, but I'm now losing a bit of confidence, to be honest. Let's get that digital board out. This top board is just the SD reader board. It's not really needed. And this has also got different screws in. It's got much longer screws in that one and that one. So we've got to unplug these two. You've noticed that the hard drive, which is that one I've just unplugged, and the DVD RAM assembly, which is that one that I've just unplugged, is connected to the digital board. I will swap this over as well, because we do know that this board works. This is the working one, this is the one that's not working, but it's different. No, it's not. Just got it the wrong way round. Tit. Oh, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. Oh, actually, sometimes it does say that and then it starts to work. It may not need to format the hard drive because it's got the same digital board. But no, this is... I can hear the hard drive doing its stuff. No. Ah, what a shame. I will check to see if there's anything I haven't done, but as far as I can tell, I've done everything I need to. Everything is plugged in. Let's put it back in the other machine. Let's put everything back in the other machine. I have reassembled the other machine. I did it late last night. This is the next day now, and you can probably tell by the clock. I put everything back last night, and it all booted up first time, as I can show you. There. So that obviously means on the other machine that I can't get to kick in the action. There's a problem on the, there's got to be a problem on the main board. There has to be a problem on the main board. It could just be a capacitor, but there are so many caps there. I'm not going to take that main board out and test it. That's just too big of a job for what it's worth. These machines are worth 20 quid, if they're worth that. So I'll just have to keep this one with the dim display. I would like to have got the other display, but it's not worth. It's just not worth doing it. But we gave it a go. Just in case you think in the comments you didn't see me change a power supply, I've already changed the power supply. In a different video we changed the power supply and the hard drive, which led me to believe it was a digital board. So then when I got this machine to supply all the parts, because this is a perfectly working machine, just with a terrible dim. Oh, it's so dim you can't even see it. Mind you, I've got the lights on. Lights off. It's just got a really dim display. But you don't need it because the display's on screen, as you can see. I would have liked to have got the bright display and everything working, but I'm not going to be changing over anything else now. I was rather hoping it was just going to be the digital board and a quick changeover, and it most certainly hasn't. I sounded like Laurel and Hardy then. It's another fine mess I've got myself into. But it was a bit of fun. It just didn't work. Coincidentally, while we've been doing this, another DVD recorder has come in. A different model, but we have a picture fault on this one, so I'll be having a look at this one later on tonight. But it's a shame I couldn't get that one. I couldn't get it working with the bright display, and I'm not going to swap the displays over either, because again it's just a massive job. I was rather hoping that the fault would have been either with the hard drive, either with the DVD RAM assembly, or the digital board, and it's neither. It's not the power supply, it's not the corresponding leads, by the way. I have checked those. I swapped all the cables over. There's not a break in the cable, but it still thinks it's a faulty hard drive and wants me to change the disk every time. So I'm not going to go any further on this. I've done my bit. It would have been nice if we'd have got it going, but it's not going to happen on this particular occasion. There seems to be quite a few DVD recorders I've got to play with. So you'll see some others in the next couple of days, but this one not working, unfortunately. But the next one, it's a different story, I hope.